Welcome to HoodWave Disability Radio, and you're listening to WFNU LP 94.1 Frogtown Community Radio in St. Paul, Minnesota. Welcome to HoodWave Disability Radio, and you're listening to WFNU LP 94.1 Frogtown Community Radio in St. Paul. And I am here with Conor and Scott.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, how you doing?
Conor.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Thanks for, I guess we're going to do this once a month, right, bud?
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly it.
Very exciting. All right. I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
Oh, that's fine. Probably one of the reasons why I'm doing this is because, well, obviously, for obvious reasons, for people with disabilities, and basically helping with the community. That's one of many.
Well, plus you haven't. I heard. I don't know if this is true. Haven't you always wanted to have your own radio show?
Yes, I have.
Guess what?
Oh, have my own radio station.
Congratulations.
Have my own radio station. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, what you want to maybe, so Conor and I sort of know each other, and we've done this once or twice before, and you were awesome and came on it. Do you want to maybe just tell us all about yourself, and then Conor will tell a little bit about himself, and no one really cares about me, so then we'll just chat.
Okay. Yeah, so, well, basically, when I was younger, well, obviously I was born in St. Paul. I was raised in Forest Lake for about 17 years.
Okay.
And I have obviously attended special education. And I've learned a lot of my fundamentals of self-advocacy in a very young age. Because my parents, basically taught me to, stand up for myself. And I also had some teachers, have actually encouraged it.
So did you go to Forest Lake High School? Is that where you went, or?
Yeah, I went to Forest Lake High School for a while.
Okay. And then what, did you go to special programs from there? And then Conor, he can tell you too, because Conor went to Highland and then some special programs. Is that where your path was?
Well, that's interesting. Well,
good, because if it's not.
Well, this is, so when I was actually in high school, I actually left. Well, I left my parents' house, for obvious reasons, and then I went to a group home.
Okay.
For about 4 years, and I went to a transition program.
So how old were you when you left?
17 and a half. I was just about to turn 18 when I left.
Very interesting. Okay. And listen, you can, tell us anything you want, or if you don't want to, if you're not comfortable, you certainly don't have to.
Well, this is exactly what I want to do. And when I want to be able to basically tell people, basic about myself, and, it'd be very interesting to people to actually know that there's somebody here that wants to give to the community. This is the one way I know how to do it.
You and Conor have that in common, definitely. So this is going to be a blast. All right, sorry to interrupt. Go ahead. So you're 17 and a half and you're moved out.
I moved out and was in a group from about 3.5 years. I had an incident and I had to go into a nursing home for rehab because,
You smiled when you said you had an incident. Do you want to tell us or no?
Yeah, I could tell you.
All right.
Well, I tell you, when I was in this group home, I felt like the group home was controlling. So unfortunately, I took it upon myself to get my point across. So I went up on top of the roof and jumped off the roof. And obviously, that point was not as very good. And so, I broke my back and shattered my heel. And then I actually was in rehab, and I had ran into this lady. She ended up being one of my friends. She was she was actually at the nursing home for some type of cancer. I don't remember what it was, but this was over 20 years ago. And so I remember this is one winter, I think it was like 96. I believe it was 96 because I was just about to get out, and I was And I went out there. She was actually, this lady wanted to go to her pickup truck, and was actually in a wheelchair for a little bit, and I went out there, to go to the truck, and I got stuck in the snow, and I couldn't move. So this lady has this scooter, it's one of those electric scooters. So I was stuck, and I grabbed on. I started to go. I flew out of the wheelchair, landed on my stomach. Yeah, I landed on my stomach. I was in a full body cast with, obviously leg cast. And these nurses were chasing me down the parking lot, screaming. And one of the nurses said, "It's not funny. I'm not hurt. Well, I don't care." And so, so that was one of the things about this, is that the main reasons that when I was in here, this lady really made a difference. I had met a few others, and
so let me see if I got this straight. So this lady that you met kind of got you on the right path, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Wow. And so you and Conor are going to be out here giving advice to not just people with disabilities, but people in general about not letting people get you down and tell you can't do things and stuff like that. That's what this is all about.
And for anyone who is listening to this podcast, don't do anything dumb. Because what I did was pretty dumb.
Is that dumb?
Oh, yeah, I'm just saying this. No, I'm just saying that I don't want somebody to think, oh, I can jump off a roof and I'll be fine. So I'm just basically, if anyone's getting the idea, don't do it because it's painful.
You ever done that?
It's painful. So I don't want anyone to.
If I fell out of this chair,
I don't want anyone to repeat it.
No, Conor, what do you think of that story?
Yeah, I think it's funny.
Yeah, thank God you survived. So all right. So now this lady gave you some advice. So you get out of the hospital, and then so how do you turn the corner?
Well, I've run into some. I was actually, I was in adult foster care. So the people let you in your home and they let you. So I was in there for a while, and actually that did help. And then after a while, I actually got into another group home, which the group home the second one I was in actually would I could go as I wanted to. I didn't have to get my parents' permission. Sure. So at the time I was dating someone, so I could up and leave. Basically I had to tell them where I was going, obviously, but I didn't have to go and pick up the phone and ask for permission to go anywhere. That was nice.
Wow.
And
started kind of on the right path, huh?
Yeah, and then actually the person who was running it, his name is John. That was his name. But he helped me to get out. So he says, I don't think you need to be here. I think with my help, you can get out. So for about 6 months to a year, he helped me to get out. And then it was year 2000. I actually found my own place. I had a roommate for a while. And so I actually been on my own for 20 years now.
Wow. And did your roommate, is he someone with dealing with disabilities or?
Yeah, it's pretty hard to explain. There were some people with some disabilities. Actually, it's a outfit, and it's actually in the Twin Cities. It's in St. Paul, and there's this lady. She rents out to people with disabilities.
Oh.
And I'm not sure exactly what, but she takes people in, especially when people with mental illness. So basically, what this lady does, she gives people a place to live. If they're not working out, obviously didn't want people to be, living in there, in institutions. So
there's some pretty good people out there, huh?
Yeah, and it took me in, and that was my turning point. And then, obviously 2 years ago, I got married.
Wow.
So I got to tell you about that too. It was 2015. I went to a self-advocacy conference, and that's where I met my wife. And
so explain a little bit about that conference. That might have.
The self-advocacy conference, it happens every 2 years. And so there was one in 2019. So there should be one next year, unless,
Did you go there to pick up girls, or did you go there to actually learn something?
No, I actually I went there because I was trying to start a website and I was trying to do something to get people, but unfortunately it didn't go over. But that's what I've been doing for the last 5 years, trying to establish something. So I finally got this going.
And then you got a girlfriend out of it too.
Yes, I did. She was the best thing that's ever happened to me, actually.
Oh, that's very nice. And so you've been married 2 years?
Yeah. We were married in June of 2018. So yeah, we've been married for a little over 2 years now.
Do you ever talk to a couple of those people that you mentioned that helped you along the way? Do you still talk to them, or are you still in touch?
Not really.
Okay, that's okay. That's fine. And then you work, I think, right?
No, I don't. I'm looking for a job.
But you did work or something before. Did I have that right? When you called our show, I think you said you had lost your job because of the pandemic, or I might have had that wrong.
Oh, no, I was looking for a job. I was just about to get a job. I was in the process of getting well, and I was, getting into interview, but the pandemic hit. That froze over. That's
great. So, all right. So, Conor, you want to ask him any questions?
No, I think he's a smart guy.
He's had a pretty incredible. How old are you, if you don't mind us asking?
I am 44 now.
You're 44.
I just turned 44.
Yeah, you look pretty good.
Right.
So you've had a lot of stuff go on in your life, but you got an incredibly positive attitude. So I'm going to ask you some other questions later too, if you don't mind, just like some personal stuff, fun stuff, so you put this all together, you got a website. What are you hoping that you and Conor can do with this show, and maybe some of the topics you two want to talk about?
Oh, it's basic disability. Yeah, basic disability stuff. I mean,
okay,
all sorts of stuff. And one of my goals, actually, I'll just tell you, one of my goals is to start a fundraiser for the, for this, thing that happened with the, day programs.
Talk about that, because when you first called our show, that was a subject that you two, that you kind of brought up with the funding and the non-funding, and you two know a lot more about it. Maybe you two should, just for all the fans out there that are listening, because a lot of people are going to listen. Conor's pretty popular, and I think you're going to be very popular as soon as this gets out there. Maybe you two can chat a little bit of some of the stuff that you had going on and some of the stuff you missed out on. And Conor, maybe you can tell them some of the groups that you go to, and Katie and I will just listen.
Well, speaking of groups, I go to Highland Friendship Club, and I go to Accord.
Have you heard of Highland Friendship Club, Daniel?
Yes, I have.
Oh, you have? Okay. All right.
It's for people with disabilities. Started out
Conor,
2 people, and now it's grown to 100, 250 members.
Wow. And then have you heard of Accord, Daniel?
Oh, I have not.
Tell them about Accord, Conor.
Accord changed from Allied to Accord. They do some jobs there, some document imaging. It's a really fun job for me to do, interact with people.
And those are all. And so maybe what were some of the groups that you attend? Any clubs anymore, Daniel, or are you just in general looking for, making sure there's funding for everyone with disabilities?
Oh, actually, that's exactly what I want to do. I want to try to start a general funding to being able to start new programs, even though that maybe some of the centers might be going out of business, to being able to raise money to being able to start new ones. I mean, I know it sounds painful, but something needs to be done. It might be a slow process, but I'm not going to sit around and not do something.
Yeah, well, Conor and I we talk about it all the time. And what was it? What did the funding? Was it 30 million, Conor?
Yes, 30 million.
We think the governor signed that, but that's just a start. As you talk about, we need more money.
Hey, Daniel, did he sign it?
I have no idea. I really don't. I have no idea if he signed it or not.
Do you like politics?
No.
No. Yeah.
No, I mean, I'll talk about it because it's, it's a headache. But if I have to, being able to get into politics, I will. But that's the reason why I'm looking for a team. That's obvious with HoodWave Disability Radio. I'm looking for a team. I'm looking for a facilitator that will be able to basically keep me going, because the more questions that people ask me, the better I will do. It's just, so I kind of looking for someone like you that will be able to, just get there. So I'm looking somebody else that will do the same job that you do with Conor.
Yeah,
we're all for this every month. I mean, this is just the first kind of get to know. But I mean, if you and Conor can't get something done for people with disabilities, then I think there's no hope, because the more and more shows we do, and the more and more people in the government that listen to this, and just people in general. I mean, well, we're going to have some fun too and find out some fun stuff. But I think this is so important what you two are doing. I mean, Conor's dream was to have his own radio show. Your dream was the same. I don't know how many people with disabilities have their own shows out there right now. Maybe you know. Not many, right?
Well, actually, my dream is actually have an online 24-hour station.
Right.
Yeah, it's running. It's Shoutcast. I don't know if you heard of Shoutcast. It's an internet where they have your own station. It's instead of going up and getting airways and having to get licenses and stuff like that, the internet's one way to being able to have that access to being able having that music and being able to have your own station without having to go through the hoops of trying to get a license and getting permits and.
Well, I mean, Conor and I will volunteer. We'll do the 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. shift if you want, right, Conor?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah, we can do that. Well, Daniel, why can't you just do it? You can do that. I bet you can do that.
I can definitely do that, but it's gonna cost a little bit.
All right, well, we'll work on that. That's awesome. Yeah. So, all right, let's ask. Let's ask him some fun questions. If they're too personal, I mean, do you like sports?
Depending on sports, I'm not good. I don't like. The main reasons why I don't like football or baseball, because with my vision, I can't track it. And so when I used to go and watch it, I would not know where the ball is. It just got to the point where, I figured out later the reason why I didn't like it. That was the main reason why, because you would sit there and you would try to find the people, because with my vision and trying to find who's out in the field.
All right. Well, so maybe what is your disability? I guess. Do you mind telling us, just so I didn't know that you had a vision issue. I thought maybe you're just getting
a vision issue. I think it's neurological. I believe.
Focus.
I don't really know. I don't even have a diagnosis. I mean, I have one. DD, development delayed.
Okay.
But really, they really can't find anything, because I know for a fact I actually remember being 4 years old and being in the hospital being tested. Actually, not very many people at 4 years old remember the test. I remember the test. I remember the CAT scan. I remember the nurse. I know when I was a kid, there was actually, I believe it was Gillette Hospital. I believe it was a long time ago. It was years, but the whole thing is so I played pinball. Pinball. Pinball machines? Oh yeah, I love pinball.
So sports not really your thing?
No, I shouldn't say that. I do like Taekwondo. I like martial arts. I don't mind hockey.
How about WWE?
To tell you the truth, I really didn't get interested. I didn't get interested until my wife. She is a diehard wrestling fan.
She's a good lady. Who's a wrestler?
She's really she loves wrestling. But that's probably about it. She's not really big on a lot of sports, but when it comes to wrestling, she's
got the best. Connor, who's your favorite wrestler? Tell him.
Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns. He's a bad guy now.
Why is he a bad guy?
He came back and now he's a bad guy. We're gonna have to find out what's your wife's name?
Oh, Leah.
Leah?
Yeah.
Okay, next show you need to find out who Leah's favorite wrestler is.
I will definitely do that.
She's probably watching.
Who did Roman spear last night?
Roman Reigns won the title and he speared. Well, actually, the ring broke. Wyatt and I know it sounds weird, but Bray Wyatt and and Braun Strowman were wrestling. The ring broke, and then Roman Reigns came in and just pinned one of the guys and won the title.
What title?
This, though. Okay, so sports. You sort of you like hockey.
I like hockey. Well, going back to wrestling, it's Hulk Hogan is the one that's the one I remember. Also, what was it? Andre the Giant. I do remember him.
Big guy.
A big guy. I don't remember all that much.
That's okay.
But those are the two I actually remember. I don't know why, but obviously, Hulk Hogan with his,
I'm going to give you some.
Your face type thing. He's the guy that likes to get in your face. Now, I think that's the main reasons why, he caught my attention, because it's,
Well, it's awesome. I've been watching it forever. So I'm sure you're happily married, but I'm going to give you a little marriage advice. Connor, you listen too, because part of this show too, Daniel, is we gotta find that special lady for Connor, but we'll get to that in a second. But here's some marriage advice. So your wife likes wrestling. So it's not too late to start watching wrestling with her. So on Mondays and Fridays, you sit down and watch wrestling. And then what do you like to watch on TV?
I don't really like watching TV, really.
Really?
I'm not a TV fan.
Music?
I love music.
So what kind of music? The Connor knows everything. What kind of music do you like?
I like industrial, electronic music.
Oh. Okay.
I don't know. There is a band that's called Depeche Mode.
No, I've heard of them.
They've been around for a long time. They're a band that was originated in Europe.
Connor, have you heard about them?
I've heard of Depeche Mode.
You have? Connor's a music expert, but tell him who you like, Connor.
The Boss.
Bruce Springsteen. No, the Leprechaun does too, by the way, Daniel. So my point is, so you watch wrestling twice a week with your wife, and then in exchange, then she needs to, I guess, sit and listen to Depeche Mode, dim the lights, get some candles lit, and you do that twice a week with her. So it's good. It's good marriage advice.
Talking about the Depeche Mode, I actually listen.
So you're going to ignore Connor.
I listen to the Depeche Mode a lot, and I drink for nuts.
Excuse me?
She doesn't mind the music. I listen to it a lot.
Wait, what was the drink from nuts thing you just said?
Huh?
Did you say you drink from nuts?
No.
Oh, I thought. Okay, I'm old.
No. What?
Yeah, I don't know. I swear I thought you said that. Like you made drinks out of nuts or something. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I know. Speaking of that, what kind of food? Favorite food?
Pizza.
Oh, Connor?
Pizza too.
And Connor works at a pizza place.
I also like Asian. I like a lot of the Asian foods.
Oh, you do? Okay. A few pot stickers here and there.
Yeah.
Hey, did you ever go to the state fair?
I have a few. I have a few times. That's the one thing that I wish that it was going now.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. How the pandemic, what has that done to you the last several months?
It's a drain. It's a drain on relationships. It's been basically, for anyone else who's listening, I'll tell you.
Everyone's listening.
Well, yeah. So if you're in a relationship, married or not, it is stress.
Because you can't get away from her.
Yeah, and she wants me out of the house.
Yeah, it's tough.
So there's a lot of people that, if they're in a relationship, they understand this, especially if they are not working and they're trying to find a job. It's stressful.
It is, yeah. And Connor's getting sick of his brothers, I know. Yeah,
and now that both my brothers are at school.
Yeah, tell us, are you happy about that?
Yeah, I'm thrilled.
He's thrilled. Yeah, it's tough because everyone's been stuck together. So what were some of the things you guys have, outside of being stuck in your house? What are some of the things you used to do outside of your house? Maybe Daniel, you go first, and I know some of Connor's, he'll go, that you just haven't been able to do because of the pandemic.
Well, one of the most important things that I used to do, obviously, is family. Going to my brother's house,
Yeah.
And going to my parents, and just having a family. That was pretty well cut off. I we just saw each other maybe a couple of times probably within the last month, but it hasn't been. Yeah, it's been tough seeing family, and I'm also going to the mall. Obviously the state fair. That was the one thing that we like to do. Is go around and take the whole day. I could probably only do like 4 hours because the heat can really dry me out.
Well, so what favorite food out there?
Oh, my favorite food?
The fair.
Mine is mini donuts, cheese curds. Those are probably two of my most favorite.
No, I'm right there with you. Conor, what's some of the stuff I guess before I get to Conor, are you nervous about the pandemic? Are you nervous you're going to get sick? What's kind of your take on it?
No, actually, I'm not worried about getting sick. I am worried about not being able to do stuff and just sitting at home waiting for people to make up their mind what this with the disease itself, with the pandemic itself. It's just waiting for people to say, hey, we can start doing stuff.
I'm right with you. Conor,
I'm not afraid of getting sick. I'm just worried about not doing stuff too.
Tell Daniel some of the stuff you've been missing out on. Although you've been getting out a little bit more lately, right?
Like going to see friends. Yeah, I miss seeing friends.
Yeah, Conor is a man of the people.
I miss going to Twins games.
Yeah, me too. Not so much you, Daniel. But...
Oh, my wife and I talked about it. If we were able to, I actually have never been to a Twins stadium.
Really?
No, I have not since it was built.
All right. Well, we're gonna have to take once we can, we're gonna have to take a group trip to the Twins game, right, Conor?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just like to do it once, just to see what it's like, because obviously, because it's going to be outside, open, so it will be interesting. I would just like to do it because my wife, she's like, yeah, we have to go, just once.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with sitting outside, on a beautiful night. Maybe I don't know if you do this or not. Maybe having a brewski, a hot dog, some pizza, maybe instead. Brewski, then you kind of nodded.
Yeah, I like beer. Yeah.
Well, you're 44. It's not like it's.
Yeah.
You do have a brewski.
Once in a while. That's the one thing about taking responsibility. That's one thing about my wife. She knows I'm pretty responsible when it comes to it.
Yeah.
Over drinking and things like that.
That's awesome. Conor, he's the same way once in a while. Nothing big. He just does it once in a while. What's your favorite brewski, Conor?
All of them. I like all of them.
He likes everything, but he does it the same way. He might have one and then just for the taste, nothing fancy. Awesome. So do you have any questions that you want to know about Conor's show, how he does things? Because, I think this show is going to be great once a month. Any questions on how Conor got into it, or do you have any? I've asked you a ton of questions. Do you have anything?
Basically, how did you start, Conor?
I started with you, Katie, with Dusty connecting me with Katie.
Tell Daniel who Dusty is.
Dusty Thune from Highland Friendship Club.
And then he connected you with Katie, and then what happened?
And then we started to do a recording show, and then it went on from there.
It's almost the year anniversary. Isn't that crazy? Would you wear a Conor's Corner t-shirt?
Yeah, I would wear one if, I will have to go and, I'll have to save my pennies and get one.
No. Dude, you're the family now. You and your wife are going to get a t-shirt.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, no. You think he'd make you? You guys you can do a show together now. You don't have to pay for one. He makes me pay, but I mean, you two are buddies. I'm just the guy that sits by you guys now, which is good. So I don't know how long this show is supposed to be, but is there what are you looking? So this is show one of. Conor, how many shows have we done? You would know this, I bet.
450.
450. Yeah, we've done somewhere around 400.
Oh, 42, excuse me.
Pretty close. So this is your first show, Daniel. So when you get to show 42, in a perfect world, what do you see? Like, and each show gets better and each show gets easier, and you'll plan things. It's going to get a lot easier, but although you've done awesome, what do you see down the road for your show, you and Conor's show?
Reach as many people as I can to change lives. That's exactly what I want to do.
I would tell you that as long as people are listening to you two, it's going to change lives. There's nothing bad about you two guys talking together. That's for sure.
No, it isn't. No, there's not.
I mean, both of you should be really proud that you have this voice and you two found each other, and it's just going to be awesome.
Welcome to HoodWave Disability Radio, and you're listening to WFNU LP 94.1 Frogtown Community Radio in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Let's just say you get your radio network together, and let's just think crazy thoughts right now. You're a millionaire in a house in Beverly Hills, whatever that is. What would be like the ultimate thing you can think of for this show or network, or take it on the road? What, just some crazy idea you've had to sit around and think, gosh, I wish I could do this.
Well, one of my things is actually traveling, around the country, talking about the dispute issues, and also even starting some shows, comedy. That's one of the things I want to do, not just talk, but I also like to introduce maybe a comedian.
Wow.
And if there is one in particular, he's actually a comedian and a movie actor.
Who's that?
Danny Warburton.
What was it?
Danny Warburton.
Okay. And is he someone with a person with disability?
Well, he's a little person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I bet you've seen him around. He's done movies and things like that. If you saw his face, you would.
Like to have him on your
I know that guy.
So you want to have like a variety network, so news, sports, comedy.
Yeah, I want to try to get a whole bunch of things, and so I also want to show basically people's talents, and just from comedy, even for an example, maybe doing this is a stretch, but like example, asking Arnold Schwarzenegger some questions. I know I know for a fact he's helped the disability community. That's one of the things I wouldn't mind. And also Chuck Norris. I know he's done a lot of things for people with disabilities. Those are two people that I want to meet personally.
So Conor, we started this about a year ago, and Conor's had lots of different guests on. So I don't see why you can't have those two people on. If they're cool, they'll come on. Who knows?
Oh, it depends. Well, it also depends on how well they are. Obviously, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Getting older, and so it depends on. It depends. It depends on the health thing.
Yeah. Well, no, that's.
Yeah. It's.
But if this show goes like I think it's going to go.
Oh yeah, it's going to go.
Begging to be on your show.
Oh yeah. I
right?
think a lot of people would.
Conor, you have people come up all the time, Conor, don't you, and say you want to be on the show? Tell Daniel how cool it is when you're interviewing some of these people that, like, I don't know, he's a hockey. I don't know if you watch hockey. Well, you don't watch much TV, but Kevin Gorg is one of the announcers for the Wild, the hockey team, and Conor's dream was to have him on. And what was it like to interview someone like that, Conor?
It was a very special man to interview him.
Were you nervous when you did that?
No, I wasn't. I was expecting him to come on.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about Conor. He does this show and lots of people listen, and Facebook Live. We do Facebook Live now, and he doesn't get nervous. But honestly, Daniel, you don't seem nervous. We're just talking, right?
Well, I actually right now I'm getting more comfortable, but I can tell my tension's high though.
So how can you tell when that happens? Give us the warning signs.
It's just the fact that this is actually my first, interactive talking to someone, and so I had lately when I was doing recordings, I was just talking to a mic. Microphones don't talk back.
No, that's no fun.
That's no fun talking to a microphone.
No. So how is this?
I like it.
Do you?
Yeah, of course I like it.
Yeah. Well, you guys, like I said, you and Conor are doing great work. There's nothing to be nervous about. You're entertaining. Speaking of entertaining, and Facebook Live, next time you're on Facebook Live, Conor today did the moonwalk for everyone on Facebook Live, the dance. I highly recommend you watching it.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, it was cool. I was right there. It was awesome. Anything? I don't know how much time you want to spend today, but anything else you guys want to chat about?
Not really. I pretty much covered it. So
maybe give us your. You have a website, right?
Oh yes, I do. Oh, okay. The website is www.hoodwave.org.
What's on there, buddy?
Well, it is actually actually right now I have 2 podcasts.
Okay.
Basically interjections. That's about it. But now that this is going to be on, this is going to be my actual first interactive. So this is actually my first actual interview co-host podcast.
Well, I think it's a good start. I really do. I think it's going to be awesome. Many more of these to come for sure. We're thinking of doing it once a month, right, guys?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. It's actually really up to Connor too, because I'm pretty flexible. So if he wants to do more, just have to go and just ask. I'm open to it.
Connor's my boss, so whatever he tells me.
I do it more if you want to, Scott.
Well, it's you two. I'm just the guy.
I think more is better. I think once a month good to start.
Well, we could start out and see how it's like. Obviously I'm enjoying it. So
good. Yeah. Well,
it's going to be up to It's going to be up to Connor's schedule.
Yeah, he's a busy, popular dude, but you're going to be pretty popular once this gets out there, Daniel. I don't think you're going to need security quite yet, but you're probably going to need security eventually. Your life. What's so funny?
No, nothing. I just need to get a robot.
Okay, I asked Connor this. So Connor's birthday is in like 6 months, but we start talking about it early. If you could have anything, when's your birthday, by the way?
Oh, it was August 19th.
Oh, happy late birthday. All right, so now we have a whole year to plan this. What would be your ultimate birthday present?
This ultimate birthday present is actually being able to get this HoodWave Disability Radio off.
Okay, so you two
basically.
All right, and he wanted a vaccine for COVID. So you two are probably the 2 nicest people I've ever met. But let's get real. Let's get materialistic. Because that I can't really talk. I mean, that's an awesome present. But you sort of just did get this off the air, so you did sort of get that birthday present.
Right.
Anything like what's your dream thing that you want? Connor eventually told me drum set. You?
I want to be the best voiceover artist I can be.
Really?
Because I've never done it before. And basically, I'll just tell you this right before we end this, is that when I was younger, I never really did anything. Well, I did a little bit, stage stuff, for school. But when, obviously, because the whole class did it.
Mm-hmm.
I never really, when it came to like acting or anything like that, I never considered it because of my disability. I thought if I got on stage, that I would, obviously when you're a teenager and you're young like that, you kind of think that. So I never considered doing it because I was afraid of being rejected. It's not really rejection of being on stage. It has to be the fact of being rejected because of disability. It took me a long time to get here.
No, listen. First of all, you two have proven that you don't take no as an answer. You don't let people get you down. You don't let people tell you no. And eventually, it took you several years, but you're doing what you want to do. Like what you just explained to me. I don't know about the voiceover work, but you like entertaining, right? And now you're doing it. Think about it. What you just told me you're doing now.
Yes, I am. I'm doing just fine.
So you feel good? You're proud of yourself? You should be.
I'm proud of Daniel too.
Yeah, and Connor's the same way. Connor, when Katie and I, and so is Katie. When Katie and I first did the very first show with Connor, I said, Connor, what do you want to do for a job? What'd you tell me, Connor?
Radio show.
He wanted to have his own radio show, and you basically just said the same thing. And you two dudes have your own radio show. Is your family and your wife, are they proud of you? Do they know what you're attempting to do here and now started doing?
Oh, my parents are aware of it. I actually have a box, and then my dad actually built it.
Okay.
I didn't realize at the time, and he was on his hands and knees doing this thing, and obviously he's not doing well, physically. But the fact that he took his time to build this, it's like a what's the name I'm looking for?
Little studio.
It's a studio, but it's a voice box.
Oh.
It's almost like for soundproof. It's like a closet, basically.
Well, but how exciting! Now he's going to be able to hear. I mean, they're going to be so proud of you. I mean, they're going to be able to hear this now. Whenever we get it up on your website and running. How awesome! Well, Conor, you guys have any closing? So on Conor's show we always do this, and I think you two really, especially getting to know you, Daniel. What are your messages for not just people with disabilities, but especially people with disabilities? What would you say to them about how they can live their life, what they should do? Do you two have a message today for people, especially people with disabilities?
My message would don't give up. It is stressful. Try not to use your disability as an excuse, because everybody goes through this thing, and it's tough. I mean, everybody can, anyone who has a disability, it doesn't make a difference if a physical disability or intellectual. When anyone has one, you have your bad days and good days and bad days.
Absolutely. And Conor?
I agree with Daniel. My message is be who you are. Strength is better than weakness.
Absolutely. And I mean, a day like today has got to make you both feel just awesome. I mean, you said it yourself, it's very tough. It's difficult. And Katie and I will never understand what you two go through, but today's conversation, none of that mattered. It was just two dudes talking and having a great radio show. That'd be my message. Listen to the new show that's coming out on WFNU 94.1 FM. And then, Daniel, what's the name of this again?
It's HoodWave Disability Radio.
HoodWave Disability Radio. Well, everybody, we're going to do it at least once a month to start, but I think this was an awesome start. We got to know everybody a little bit better, and thanks for inviting us, Daniel. This was great.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Conor?
What?
Any last words, buddy?
Yeah, thank you, Daniel. Very appreciate me coming on your show.
It's your show, too. It's the two of you.
Yeah. We did a good job together.
Oops, we're both talking over each other.
It's weird on Zoom. It actually was pretty good considering, but I'm looking forward to the next show next month.
Rock on.
Rock on. We'll be back next month. See you, everyone.
See ya.
Bye.
HoodWave Disability wants to thank you for taking interest in our podcast. And if you are interested in finding out more, please contact us at www.hoodwave.org. Again, that is www.hoodwave.org. You may also write to us and tell us your story at hoodwave.radio@gmail.com. Again, that is hoodwave.radio@gmail.com. You may also check out our blog at www.self-advocacytoday.com. Again, that is www.self-advocacytoday.com.